There are moments in public life when time seems to pause. Cameras flash, crowds gather, and yet a single expression can quiet an entire nation. On this particular day, as Prince William stepped forward to address the crowd, there was something different in his eyes. The future king, known for composure, dignity, and steady resolve, appeared reflective, almost fragile. The setting was formal. Flags moved gently in the breeze. Supporters stood shoulder to shoulder, hoping to hear words of encouragement. But before a single sentence was spoken, it was his silence that captured hearts. He looked down briefly, gathering himself. When he finally began to speak, his voice carried not just authority, but emotion. It wasn't rehearsed perfection people saw that day. It was humanity.
From the moment he was born, Prince William's life has been shaped by history. As the eldest son of Princess Diana and King Charles III, expectation followed him everywhere. Cameras documented his childhood. Headlines narrated his adolescence. The world watched him grow, but rarely did it see the quiet pressures behind the palace walls. Losing his mother at such a young age changed him forever. The image of a young William walking behind Diana's coffin remains one of the most heartbreaking scenes in modern royal history. It was a moment of unimaginable grief, endured under the glare of the global spotlight. Over the years, he learned to carry sorrow privately. He learned how to smile, even when memories resurfaced. But on this day, something about the occasion reopened that emotional chapter.
The event was meant to honor resilience, compassion, and service, values that deeply reflect William's own life journey. As he spoke about love, loss, and the importance of supporting one another, his words felt less like a speech and more like a confession from the heart. He mentioned how grief changes a person, how it reshapes priorities, how it strengthens empathy. And as he described the lasting influence of someone who had inspired millions with kindness, many believed he was quietly speaking about his mother. His voice trembled slightly when he said, "The love we give never truly disappears." For a split second, he paused. His composure wavered. The crowd fell silent. That pause, barely a few seconds, felt like an eternity. And in that pause, the nation saw not just a prince, but a son.
For decades, the royal family has represented stability. Public emotion has often been measured and restrained. Yet William's visible vulnerability did not weaken the monarchy, it strengthened its connection with the people. Many watching felt an overwhelming sense of respect. Here was a man raised to lead, yet unafraid to show that leadership includes feeling deeply. His honesty about grief resonated with families who had endured similar losses. In that moment, the divide between palace and public disappeared. Social media later filled with messages of support. Commentators described it as one of the most authentic royal moments in recent memory. But beyond headlines and analysis, what lingered was a shared understanding. Grief does not fade, it transforms.
Standing beside him throughout the event was Catherine, Princess of Wales. Her presence was calm, reassuring. She glanced toward him during the speech, offering quiet strength without a word. Their partnership has often been described as grounded and supportive. Over the years, Catherine has helped William navigate both public responsibility and private emotion. Together, they have focused on mental health awareness, early childhood development, and charitable initiatives that encourage open conversations about well-being. It was fitting that this emotional moment occurred within the context of advocacy. William has long championed mental health causes, encouraging others to speak openly about their struggles. On this day, he did not just advocate for vulnerability, he embodied it. Observers couldn't help but reflect on the parallels between this moment and earlier chapters of royal history. The compassion that defined Princess Diana's legacy lives on in her son. William's empathy during hospital visits, community outreach programs, and meetings with families affected by tragedy has always been deeply personal. He has often spoken about how becoming a father changed his perspective. Holding his own children, Prince George, Princess Charlotte, and Prince Louis, reminded him of the love he lost and the love he continues to build.
Perhaps that is why his words that day felt so profound. He was not speaking as a distant royal figure. He was speaking as a father, a husband, and a son. After the speech concluded, applause rose slowly, almost hesitantly, because many were still processing what they had witnessed. Some in the crowd wiped away cheers. Others simply stood in thoughtful silence. News outlets across the United Kingdom described the moment as deeply moving. Commentators noted how rare it is to see such open emotion from a senior royal, yet the reaction was overwhelmingly positive. People expressed gratitude for his honesty. Many shared their own stories of loss, inspired by his courage to acknowledge pain publicly. In showing emotion, he gave permission for others to do the same. Later, as William greeted attendees, he maintained warmth and composure, but there was a gentleness in his demeanor that suggested the speech had touched him profoundly. Those who met him described his handshake as firm but sincere. His conversations lingered slightly longer than usual. It was as though he understood more deeply than ever that connection matters. For someone whose life has been carefully choreographed by tradition, moments like these cannot be scripted. They are spontaneous, honest, and unforgettable.
Why did this moment resonate so powerfully? Because it reminded people that even those born into extraordinary privilege experience ordinary pain. Titles do not shield the heart. Responsibility does not erase memory. Prince William has spent years preparing for the role he will one day assume. Leadership, however, is not only about strength, it is about compassion, and compassion grows from lived experience. His emotional pause revealed depth. It revealed resilience shaped by loss. It revealed a man who understands that true authority is rooted in empathy. As the heir to the throne, William carries immense responsibility. Yet days like this demonstrate why many believe he will lead with balance and understanding. He has modernized certain aspects of royal engagement while honoring tradition. He has prioritized causes that reflect contemporary challenges: mental health, homelessness, environmental protection. But beyond policy and patronage, it is his authenticity that leaves the greatest impact. The tears were not a sign of weakness. They were a testament to enduring love.
Long after the event ended, the image remained etched in the public mind. A prince pausing mid-speech, eyes glistening, voice steady but tender. In that fleeting instant, millions were reminded that grief connects us all. It humbles status, it bridges distance, it teaches compassion. Prince William's emotional moment was not dramatic or theatrical. It was quiet, real, unfiltered. And perhaps that is why it mattered so much. Because sometimes the strongest leaders are the ones who allow themselves to feel. And on that day, a nation didn't just see its future king.